I'm Pamela Ferguson, and last September, my husband and I discovered that we were having another baby. We were very cautiously optimistic because we had just had a miscarriage at 10 weeks, but as months went on, the blood work was good, ultrasounds were good, and our baby had a very strong heartbeat. But on January 17th, our lives were going to be rocked to the core like we never could have imagined. I woke up that morning, I was not feeling very well. So I called and got an appointment to go in to see the doctor just to make sure everything was okay. We got to the doctor's office and he got out the little fetal Doppler and attempted to locate our baby's heartbeat. And he couldn't find it. This is gonna be hard. So he left and he came back with an ultrasound machine. He was confident that maybe he just had gotten, himself turned around and that's why we couldn't find it. And the screen came up and it was so still and there was no movement and there was no heartbeat. And I think that when he said there was no heartbeat, I just went into survival mode. And the next hour was full of, we had another ultrasound. They got us over to the hospital. They got us situated. The doctor and the nurses, they were amazing. I don't think they could have loved on us more than they did. But within an hour after learning that our baby had died, Declan James was born into the world sleeping at 3:46 p.m. It was so fast and yet it was so slow. So I wasn't sure what to expect, only being 22 weeks along. But the nurse laid the most beautiful baby I had ever seen. He had a pudgy nose and 10 fingers and 10 toes, and he was perfectly put together even though he only weighed 6 ounces. And I don't even know how you begin to process a moment like that, in having to comfort your husband and comfort your children, and at the same time trying to find time for yourself. There's just not enough time. I was having complications, and so the doctor said I was going to have surgery, and he was very gracious and he gave me as much time as he could feel comfortable giving me. So he gave me an hour and a half, and an hour and a half was all I had with our sweet baby before Tony took him from my arms and took me into surgery. So by the time I came back from surgery, Declan had changed so much already. Time is not kind to little people in these situations. And frankly, I just needed more time. Time to process what had happened, time to take a breath, time to think that maybe we should have called a photographer, time to realize that this was the moment to get a family photo that we never got. You feel like you get placed on this merry-go-round and it starts spinning and it's going 90 miles an hour and it doesn't stop. You have to make decisions, for your health, decisions for your family. You've got to call a funeral home to come and get, your baby. And I wish that I'd had time to snuggle him and time to rock him and just time to soak in as much with him as I could.
A caring cradle is an amazing support tool that can provide that extra time to a family that finds themselves in a situation of needing more time.
It keeps the baby in the room with a mom and dad, and it helps to not allow time to be so cruel to a baby that finds itself without life. But it gives the family time to call a photographer. It gives them time to call family, time to snuggle them, sing lullabies to them, dress them. It gives them an opportunity to be able to say hello and goodbye in separate breaths. And I wish that we had had that And so we really want to gift that. And we want to bring awareness to the taboo of stillbirth, because there are 24,000 families on average every year that find themselves hurting and broken. And it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be acknowledged. 1 in 4 women will experience loss of some sort, whether it be miscarriage, stillbirth, 1 in 4. And you shouldn't have to feel like a statistic. I mean, these babies, all of them, they matter. And their families matter. And it's so taboo and nobody wants to talk about it. And we can't help these families and we can't help these moms if we don't start giving it a voice. Isn't fancy and it's not happy and it's not wonderful. It would be an incredible thing to have if somebody finds themselves in the place of needing one. Through Declan's Gift of Time, we hope to raise money to provide these to other local area hospitals for families that find themselves in the same situation that we found ourselves in.
Please visit caringcradle.com for more information on how you can help give the gift of time.